Yesterday I stated that Zack Snyder does not know how to write for Superman. Which is true, and I stand by what I said. But there is one other superhero character that he has no fucking clue how to write for, and it's very apparent. And that's Batman. And in this film, Batman vs Superman, not only does he not understand how Superman would react, he completely just doesn't give a shit about the Batman lore or who Batman is as a character. He even said so himself. What's going on, my YouTube family? My name is Paulie G. This is Paulie G's Film Review, and today, this is day 7 of watching every single Superman movie until we get to Batman vs Superman, which we are covering today. This is the last video in this series, guys. If you haven't checked out the rest of this series, please go do so. Go check out them right here. Yesterday I made a few points that I wanted to get into. I'm going to do the same here. Let's start off with Superman before we get into the actual problem with this film. There's a lot of things that Superman does in this film that just irks me. But the one thing that he irks me the most with is the court scene. The scene where he is in court facing punishment for what happened in the first film regarding a particular person who got his legs crushed. Now he's an amputee, and he wants justice. But Lex Luthor gave him a beautiful wheelchair that he can control with a remote. Little did he not know there was a bomb. And the bomb goes off while in the court scene. And Superman does nothing. And then in the aftermath, he walks outside and he just flies away. Would never happen in any way, shape or form. Superman wouldn't just fly off. He would stay there and help in any way he could. Besides that, there's not too many more things about Superman that bothers me in this film. We don't spend a lot of time with Superman. We spend a lot of time with Clark Kent. I have no problems with Henry Cavill's performance as Clark Kent. I think it's pretty good. What I do have a problem with, though, and it's a big problem, and I'm not the only one that has a problem with this, is the way that he goes about treating Batman in this film. Batman is portrayed by Ben Affleck. I don't necessarily hate his Batman. I don't care for his performance. I don't think it's one of the best performances, but I don't think it's his fault, because Ben Affleck isn't actually a really good actor. I like him in a lot of other things. In this, Zack Snyder's Batman is already many years into already being Batman. He's had a Riddler, he's had a Robin, and Robin's died. It's caused him to be very depressive Batman in this film. His Bruce Wayne voice and Batman voice are almost identical.
I can't stay down here, Alfred. Go. Do you plead?
But why is this film here? Why does Batman want to verse Superman? Well, it turns out that Superman destroyed one of Batman's buildings, and inside there was a longtime friend of his. Batman sees this as an issue. Superman having too much powers, and he wants to fight him and kill him because he doesn't want that much power being on Earth. That is the whole crux to this movie. Superman doesn't really care for Batman. Clark Kent cares for Batman because Batman is going around cow prodding all his victims. That's number one, Zach. Batman would never do that. That's stupid. But it doesn't seem just like Batman is after Superman. It seems like the whole world has turned on Superman after what he does after the events of the first film. I do like how this whole film, there's like 4 or 5 different stories going on at once. There's the Clark Kent investigating Batman. There's Lois Lane investigating the government for a mysterious bullet. There's Lex Luthor trying to plot to not just kill Superman, but kill Batman in the same way. And then, out of nowhere, which you probably all know, Wonder Woman is just in this film. For reasons. She's just here. She just shows up and you're like, oh, Wonder Woman, what the hell? And then she kind of just fits into the plot. Kinda. Why does Lex Luthor want Batman and Superman to fight? Well, He wants Superman to fight Batman, to show the whole world that having Superman here is a bad thing. He has too much power, and if Batman, the second strongest person on Earth, could defeat Superman, then we need to question society and get him out of here. But we haven't even tipped the iceberg on why this is a bad film. The reason this is a bad film, one of the bad films, is because Zack Snyder takes Batman and does the one thing that Batman is against. He makes Batman kill people. And not just one or two or three. He kills a lot of people in this movie. Like a shit ton of people. He kills them with his prodding, sends them to jail knowing that they're going to die. He kills them with his car. He kills them with his plane. He kills them with a grappling hook. And then, to top it all off, he kills with a fucking gun. So Batman shouldn't just kill, but he shouldn't kill with a fucking gun. That makes no sense whatsoever. Zack Snyder took Batman and made him be in situations that Batman wouldn't be in. Like yesterday's film, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder does know how to do fight scenes. The fight scenes in this film are very good. The big climactic Batman vs Superman fight is very good until the end. Exactly like yesterday. Superman is moments away from dying. Batman is moments away from killing him and winning the fight. But what stops Batman? Superman says his mother's name. And that just happens to be the exact same name as Batman's mum. And that just ends the fight right there.
What does that mean?
That is not just silly. That's stupidity. What the fuck was that, Zach? You can't tell me that was a smart decision. Oh, and by the way, when this fight ends, the big bad of this film finally shows up, because Lex Luthor isn't really the main bad guy in this film. He is a bad guy. The main bad guy is Doomsday, who just kind of appears in the last third act, right at the start, and they all have to deal with it. And that's where Wonder Woman shows up finally in her uniform, her outfit, with her sword and shield. Batman agrees to team up with Superman to fight this creature. And the fight is really good. But in the end, Doomsday does die. But so does Superman. Zack. I don't understand you sometimes. You can make really good films until they're comic book films. And then you just fumbled the ball, my friend. Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice premiered in Mexico City on March the 19th, 2016. And it was released in the United States on March 25th, 2016. It followed a strong debut that set new box office records. The film experienced a historic drop in the second weekend it never recovered from. Although it did gross $873 million worldwide, making it the 17th highest grossing film of 2016. Its performances were below expectations, and it was not received well by critics and fans alike. A director's cut called The Ultimate Edition, featuring 31 minutes of additional film, was released to home media later on in 2016. The budget for this film was between $250 million and $325 million. Later on, Zack Snyder did follow up with a Justice League film. Its original release was released in November 17, 2017, but a new Zack Snyder cut was released 4 hours long in 2021 on March the 18th. People have said that film is very good. Did Zack Snyder come back and finally finish his trilogy off with a bang? Well, I've never seen it, so I can't comment if he did or if he didn't. But if he did, I want you to let me know in this comment section and tell me, is it worth me sitting there for 4 hours watching this Justice League film? I've seen the original one, and I do not remember it because it was very bad. I remember it being bad. Did you know, though, Superman only had 42 lines of dialogue throughout this entire film? And also, In an interview on the Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, Ben Affleck stated that he was warned by Warner Bros. To stay off the internet after being cast as Batman. But his curiosity got the better of him, so he went online. He was strictly told, do not go online, by Warner Bros. Head office. He went on there, and the first thing he read was Ben Affleck as Batman in capitals, no. After seeing that, he immediately got off the internet and just never went back to it. I am morbidly curious to see what a Ben Affleck solo Batman film would have been like, who the villain would have been. I would still kind of be curious to see it now, in 2025. Unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to see it. Curious though. Which brings me to my scoring. The plot is passable. It's a passable plot. You can kind of make sense of it. For the plot, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. The casting, they only really added Lex Luthor and Ben Affleck and Wonder Woman to this film. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Ben Affleck as Batman. They just didn't add enough to make it worth my while. I'm going to give the casting 7 out of 10. Cinematography, I dislike this because it's dark. It's a very, very dark film. It's very hard to see a lot of things. Zack Snyder does like his dark films. He likes black and whites and greys. He doesn't really do color. So it's hard to kind of see a lot of things. It's kind of hard to see details of little things. Like, it's hard to tell details of Batman's outfit, Batman's costume in this film. There's one shot of it. It's okay. I just can't give it a really high score. So for cinematography, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Entertainment, it has its up and downs. It's a lot more down than it is up. But the fight scene between Batman and Superman, and then the triple threat of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman versus Doomsday is really fun. And I really had a good time with it. And that kind of saves this film a little bit for me. Maybe it's just my stupid lizard brain, my male brain, but I dig when the fight scenes are really cool like that. So for entertainment, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Which brings me to my thoughts on Superman. This is the only 2 films with Superman, this particular Superman in it. I'm not covering the Justice League film, either of them. Maybe one day, but not today. Not tomorrow, not anytime soon. So Henry Cavill's Superman, I think it's fine. I think he's passable. I think he's okay. I like his outfit. It's a different spin on it. It's more dark. It's a darker blue. Not much red in it. Not like the costume that we are used to seeing, the bright blue, the bright red. Zack Snyder tries really hard. He doesn't know how to write for Superman, and we shouldn't hold that against Henry Cavill's performance. He did come back for a cameo in Black Adam. I would have loved to see that fight, but I'm so glad that's not happening, because that would not have ended well for Superman. The Rock's ego would not have allowed him to lose in that film. But Henry Cavill's performance is passable. I don't mind it. Superman, the Henry Cavill version, gets a 6 out of 10. And for shits and gigs, we're going to do the Batman. This Batman is horrendous. And it's not even Ben Affleck's fault. Ben gave it his all. Gave it a good red hot crack. I don't like his Batman voice. I don't like his gadgets. I don't like his Batmobile. I don't like his Alfred. I don't like a lot of things about this Batman, and I especially don't like the fact that he kills. So for fun, Batman gets a 3 out of 10. Which brings me to my overall thoughts on Batman vs Superman. It gets 6 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched up to this point, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. I want you to please consider hitting that like button. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Did you see this film? Have you had any good memories of this film? Do you like this film? If not, tell me why not. If you do, tell me why you do. I want to find out why you do or do not like Batman vs Superman. Since this is the last video in this series that we're going to be doing, let's have some fun. Let's rank all the live action Superman movies. And they're going to go like this. All my links to all my social media are down below. Make sure you go follow me on all those. Make sure you particularly go follow me on Instagram. I'm uploading every single film that I've seen to my story and then adding that into a timeline with a rating. So if you want to see what I've been watching, keep up to date with what I'm doing in this crazy world, make sure you follow me over there. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Let's get this video up. Let's make sure we like it. If this video can get 100 likes, I will review the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League film. But I don't think you got it in you guys. Until then, guys, be well, stay safe, have yourself a beautiful day. And I'll catch you guys really soon.